The time present in those regions will also be passing differently. At this point, one starts to realize that science also has its limitations. But who can blame science? It is only a few hundred years old knowledge. We must also explore the knowledge that existed before this few hundred years, the knowledge of ancient people. And to explore the knowledge of ancient people, we will have to go far back in time, much far back. It happened 173 years ago, in the year 1849, that an archaeologist in Nineveh called Austen Henry discovered some clay tablets. The tablets that were used thousands of years ago for writing. Austen Henry named those tablets Enuma Elish, the 7 tablets of creation. It contained a story written on 7 tablets, 3,500 years ago, in which people are talking about the creation of the universe. And they say that when there was no sky and when there was no earth, when there was neither any tree nor any bog, and it was all just water. There was no human and there was no destiny written in time. There was an order from the God at that time. This is something very interesting, and if we study the entire text of 1,000 lines, we will realize that before anything was created, they speak about the presence of water, lots and lots of water. Further, it speaks about an eternal garden, and the creation of human and its soul which descended from the sky. But probably the most interesting thing in this text is a word. Its Greek translation called logos, meaning something that was said. That means when God wanted to create something, he said something, but what did he say? These tablets do not speak of it. Let's go to another civilization who lived even before them, a civilization that lived 5,000 years ago, the Sumerians. Sumer was also a civilization in Iraq, and they too have written in their tablets that there was a supreme being called Namu, who was forever present. Namu created the skies and the earth from the great water. And don't think that the Sumerians are to be taken lightly. Sumerians were the oldest civilization that we know of. In today's world, there are at least 100 different inventions that we use which were made by Sumerians. For example, the first ever text was written by Sumerians, the first ever irrigation system, and even the first ever geometrical system was invented by Sumerians. Let's say that only 2 civilizations are not enough, so we look at a third civilization, 3,000 years old Egypt, which was a superpower of its time. They too speak of Nun, who created skies and the earth from a massive, stormy ocean of water, an ocean of water which was completely hidden in the dark. The Greeks, who too speak about the creation from a black sea of water called Okeanos 2,300 years ago. But one can say that these civilizations lived closer to each other and not many years apart. It is possible that they might have learned those concepts from each other. Then let me take you to a civilization which lived very far from them, the Aboriginal people from Australia. According to the Aborigines, there was a Lord of all the souls who was all alone. He created light and gave life to the earth. Even farther from the Aboriginals, the Taoist mythology from China. They too speak of a God who separated the huge waters from each other, who placed mountains where they are, and he did it with his knowledge and with the words he said.